What would you hope that the future can bring with how people look at power grids?
Those sort of power, that sort of power availability, it's not necessarily the generation that's not there. The generation is probably there. It's the transmission that's the challenge. So particularly here in the UK and in some other European countries as well, the power being generated is sufficient. It's just not getting to the right location, because we have quite aging infrastructure and it's been built up over decades. So I think that data centres, rather than being seen as part of the problem, particularly as we think about the green transition and enabling more renewable power to come onto the grid, I think we could really be part of the solution, even with the data centre infrastructure we already have. Because think about some of the challenges that we're seeing over the last few weeks with fires in substations and power going out at at Heathrow Airport, for example. Every single data centre has the same amount of power in backup generation as it draws from the grid. And so that backup generation could be used to help to enable some of the green transition without some of the other larger generation and transmission infrastructure being built. Part of the problem that is seen, though, is the balance of the grid. So at any one moment, the power being drawn from the grid must be the same as the power going into the grid. And if you think about renewable energy, so think solar, think wind, the sun isn't always shining and the wind isn't always blowing. But when it is sunny and windy, there's an excess or a surfeit of power that's being generated. So creating some way to store that power, we have very good large-scale batteries on most data center sites as well. So you need somewhere to store the power. You also then need some other generation to come online when it's not windy and it's not sunny. So having some of these smaller sort of sections of tens of megawatts of power available at certain positions on the grid might be very helpful to avoid having to wait for the entire problem to be solved with all the transmission in place and new generators in place. So I think working with the grids to try and help to unlock some of that problem is something that Pure's trying to do.